Hi everyone! Minus $470 of loss this week? I'm still happy? How is it possible? Actually, it's because I learned so much this week. And not only I placed maximum 2 trades per day, mainly actually one, but also I decreased my number of instruments in the beginning of the week to just silver, gold, and platinum. And I ended up actually just with micro gold and platinum, nothing else. And the most important thing, I started to follow the trend. So I'm not placing anymore any trades against the trend, and this is so helpful. So let's jump to it and see what actually have I done. So here we are having the stats of this week, and we already have it filtered from 18th of August till the 22nd of August. And we can see that the stats actually, they don't look too good. Not only minus $473, but also I had 5 losing trades and only 2 winners. And nothing actually from here sounds too well. But psychologically, it was a very good week because I stopped looking at the numbers, stopped looking how many losses I have, how big are the losses, but mentally I just accepted them and trusted the strategy. Now when we will go to the calendar, we can see that actually I had 3 losses this week and 2 winning days. But during those 2 winning days, actually the first trades were also the losses. And as I mentioned, I tried to trade silver. It was on Monday and Wednesday, and those 2 losses were huge because they were above minus $900, and that's a huge loss. However, I'm very happy because I accepted my losses mentally. I was very okay with them. I actually, after this enormous loss here, closed the computer, turned off all the alarms, and step away, and I was accepting it fully. And even the next day, even that I got another loss, I wasn't scared of it. So that's my huge success. Also, when we'll look at the trade duration performance, we can see that actually my trades were from 1 hour to actually 6 hours of holding. And those 3 at the beginning, within 1 hour, they were losers. So very fast, I got to know that actually they were not a great trades. And my 2 winners actually were $600 and $500 winners. And both of them were actually on platinum. And also a huge success because I was able to actually hold them for around, as we can see here, 3 hours and then close them because, oh my god, we're on $300 already. Like, let's close it or let's cover that previous loss. No, I was holding it till the take profit, which is great. So now let's see what kind of trades actually I placed this week and why am I so happy. So the first trade is on silver, and this was my biggest loss of the week, and it was minus $578. My maximum loss on silver is minus $500, which is 20 ticks. However, here we have got the slippage when I was entering, and it took 4 ticks additionally, which is minus additionally $100. So I ended up with minus $574 instead of minus 500. And we can actually see that I also took this trade against the trend, and I am not very happy with that. So we can see that here we were having the resistance from the top and support from the bottom, and we're kind of in a consolidation. And here we created the first higher low after the bottom, and then the price broke it and went higher. So that actually is kind of, we can see actually it was the second higher low. But I kind of went against the trend and I decided that, okay, let's go short. And why I have decided like that? It's because I was actually backtesting silver during the weekend, and I have realized that actually the opportunity to place a trade on the 1 hour time frame with just 20 ticks of maximum loss is very hard. and those opportunities are not happening too often. So when I saw this opportunity, that wedge, which gave me those 20 ticks of maximum loss, I was happy to take the trade any direction. And that was my biggest mistake, because I went short. I went short on the cross of this trend line and support resistance line. And then I decided to take on the profits. It was, I think, $300 profits. But I decided to hold longer because during my backtesting, I realized that if I'm holding above 4 hours, then it is very beneficial for me and I'm getting those really big profits. So I decided to hold it, and well, my stop loss was hit and it was minus $578. Not a fun way to start the week. But what I'm very proud of actually is that I literally closed the laptop, turned off all the notifications, done something completely different, and didn't even think about this loss. Even the next day, I wasn't actually so worried about that loss because I decided not to look at the numbers on TradeZilla, the stats which are telling me how much profit or loss I'm having during the day, week, month, and just trust the process. So that was actually very good. And on Tuesday, we are having actually not such a happy loss. And I could have actually got out from the trade on break even. But I decided to hold it way longer. So we can see here that I was trying to go with the trend. So we can see that the trend was actually very sharp at the beginning, and then it slowed down, kind of almost got into the consolidation. And then after it was rejected a couple of times from that support resistance line, I decided to enter because we had got the bounce of that support resistance and the break of that kind of 3 touch point trend line. So the first one is at the top. Here we have the second one, the third one, the fake out, and we're having a cross. However, I wasn't so sure about that safety line because though it is having like 3 touch points, it doesn't have got a significant pullback from the trend line and then getting back to it and just touching it and another pullback. It's mostly like very much hugging the trend line, so I wasn't too happy with it. So actually what I was waiting for was that bigger pullback and then move to the upside. So that's why I'm saying like here maybe I didn't follow so much the rule of following the trend because we do not have the first pullback. We are not necessarily sure that the trend is going up. What I counted as the first pullback was that thing here. However, we can see that those wicks are very weak because they are during the night, during the end of Asian session and before the beginning of London session. So those candles are not telling us too much. And then actually afterwards, when we got into some profit here, I decided that when we crossed the trend line, no, I'm waiting for the pullback. And well, that pullback never happened. So we crossed that safety line here. We crossed the second safety line, the original one, and I was still waiting until that wick here will be crossed. And when that wick was crossed, then I closed it. Well, then afterwards, literally the price went up. And then it closed slightly lower and then went back. So, well, I could have held it slightly longer at least, maybe under that week. However, then my loss would be more than $300, and this is my maximum loss, which I can take actually on gold. So the lesson from this trade is that actually I should always get out when the safety line is crossed. So how Tori is always saying, protect your capital. So when the price actually crossed the trend line, though it was a steep trend line, I was actually just before it on a profit. So I should not give away so much. I should actually close and break even and be happy with that. And if it will go more up, I would, well, miss the up move, but at least I would not be so sad about losing minus $280. And on Wednesday, we're having two trades. One is on silver and one is on platinum. The platinum one is really an amazing trade. However, silver, I will just show you briefly, but I should not have taken that trade. Because overnight and in the evening, the day before actually, there was a huge drop in silver. And actually, I was anticipating kind of like the reversal, at least like to 50% of that down drop, which was massive. So I started to enter on the bounce of that support resistance here and was trying to catch the move up, but with 20 ticks, I was not able to give enough wiggle room to have got that stop loss on the other side of $37 level, and well, I was kicked out very fast. So that was a loss, and that trade made me think that okay, I cannot actually afford silver now, and I should just pause on it. And also on Apex, unfortunately, I cannot trade micro versions of silver, so bye bye silver. And the next trade is on platinum, and it was $611 of win, and that is one of the best trades that I done. I mean, I done before the trades which were above $1,000. However, those ones were more rushed trades based on news and not based on holding. And I got a huge problem of holding above $300 on platinum. But surprise, surprise, actually those messy trades on silver, because the amounts which I was operating with on silver were so big, actually changed my mentality and my approach to the platinum, and I don't feel anymore that 600 is a big number or 300 of loss is a big number. I'm actually feeling that these are pretty standard numbers, so that's also why I'm not so worried about minus $400 this week on my account, because actually with one trade of platinum, if well executed, I can actually cover that loss very easily. So let's jump and see what actually we're having here. And we can see that we were having the drop that we were talking about on silver. Same drop happened on platinum, but then we have got the proper pullback to the downside, the bottom, and then the price was going very fast up. However, then it made a small pullback, and then at 10 a.m. UK time, it broke that new action line, and I entered and hold it for I think 4 hours here, 3-4 hours, and I took the profits on support resistance. So if we will can see like where I marked those two lines, and both of them are kind of like a support resistant lines. So I was thinking that the price, there is a huge possibility for it to stop in that area. It went slightly higher, which is also nice, but I'm very, very happy with my profits. Also, very interestingly, here actually my my maximum loss would be only $200, not $300. So that was also very comforting. And learning from the mistake on Tuesday from gold, I decided that whatever will happen, I am protecting my profits with that safety line. And even if the price would cross, I would just close the trade. And though we were having here a bit of ups and downs, and I was on the profit, on the loss, on the profit, on the loss, and then on the profit, on a smaller profit, I was kind of feeling okay with it, and I was not panicking that like, oh my god, $300, okay, let's take it and let's be happy. No, I was holding it, and I'm very proud of it. One of my best trades on platinum. And on Thursday, we're having the second loss on gold, but this time a happy loss. I lost only $100, and again, I was this time actually going accordingly to the rules. So when my safety line was crossed, I literally closed the position and I didn't wait any longer. So it means I learned actually from my mistakes at the beginning of the week. So what I was thinking here, and actually I should have waited for another pullback, smaller pullback, was that we're going with the upward trend. So what we're seeing here, we were having downtrend, and then we were having a bit of slowdown and consolidation. Then we had got this drop and recovery, and the recovery was actually higher than the previous tops of the wicks. So it was kind of telling me that, like, okay, we are changing the direction. So when I draw that trend line, and I saw that actually my maximum risk is just 50 ticks, so I went with 3 contracts. Maximum loss here was just $150. I was ready to enter it and try to be an early bird and catch the beginning of the move. And afterwards, when I entered, I realized that actually maybe what I should have waited for would be after that pullback here down, wait for a small move to the upside, a smaller move to the downside, but not being lower than that previous low, and then a move to the upside. So then we would have another trend line just here, and then I could have taken the trade on the cross of that trend line. I was literally very early to the party, so ended up a bit in that beginning consolidation. And then some news dropped. It was actually 11. It was some kind of random thing. I think it might have been connected with the Middle East. And then I was very fast kicked out. But I managed to trail my stop loss, and it was at the end just $100 of loss. So that is a very, very happy loss. And then we're having Friday. And well, Friday. Imagine you're opening TradeZella. You're seeing here minus $600 of loss. And this is the end of the week. And your psychology is starting to think like, oh my god, like you don't want to end up like this. You're not a loser. Like you want to be on a profit. You want to end up this week in green. And well, that whole psychology problem started very fast. And when I saw that trade on Platinum in the morning, I kind of have got the bias of going long. And this is because, as we can see on the charts, we went up, we made a significant pullback, then we went up again. We hit the support resistance here because Platinum is kind of like in this range. And then I was actually expecting, because the candle moved so much up so fast, that okay, we're trying to test the support resistance again and maybe we'll cross it. So let's go for long. And that FOMO hit. The candle, the move of it was so fast that I was not able to catch it. I waited for the retest, but instead of the retest, I caught the meltdown. So on the very next candle, I was kicked out. The price moved to the other side of the safety line. And well, that was a loss. However, because I was feeling like that was actually that pullback that I'm waiting for, when the price crossed, I immediately took another trade. I took a reversal on Platinum. And what I was thinking at that moment was that actually the price went lower than that latest wick. And also we bounced from that support resist line, and we're definitely here starting to get into the downtrend, especially that we're starting to be more during the London session, and the price definitely is trying to go down. And I took the trade, and then the price actually was thinking what to do for first 2-3 hours, and then on the 4th hour literally it melted. And I took the profit slightly higher than support resistant, as it's better to actually take slightly higher to not be too greedy, as Tori is saying, and just give up on this $20, but be sure that your take profit is hit. So that was a really nice trade. However, maybe you see there's one mistake. And when I done the reverse, I had got this trend line here because this was my action line. And when I saw it, like, okay, this is just $300 of loss. But I didn't incorporate that wick. So actually, my stop loss would be way higher. However, well, because this is what I done, I just kept my safety line in that position. I discarded that wick And whenever the price would reverse and hit my minus $300, I will be just out. But still, I think this was a nice reversal, so I'm happy with that. However, also maybe you remember from last time I was saying no more than one trade on Fridays because you over trading on Fridays. And as you could see, actually on Fridays I'm getting this stress and scary mode when I am just scared of finishing the week on minus. So I'm trying to do everything to just not end up on minus. And that is not great. That's why I should have maximum one trade on Fridays. And maybe even I should actually not trade on Fridays. So to summarize, let's see what went good, bad this week, and what are the aims for the next week. So first of all, I am very proud of myself that I have the limit of maximum 2 trades per day, and I am pretty much sticking with it. Even very often I'm having actually just one day, and I'm very satisfied with it. And I'm way more calmer inside and don't have a need of trading. Additionally, because I decreased the amount of the instruments, so now I'm trading only gold and platinum. So I'm not so overwhelmed with looking at other instruments. And this was a very good tip from the coach Blake from TLT. And then I am very happy also that I'm following the trend. I am trying not to place the counter trades, and I am really looking at the structure. And when I'm having the losses, I'm also very comfortable with them, and I am not overwhelmed when I'm seeing minus $500 on my account. So that is good. And even if I have those losses, I learned how to close the laptop, stay away from it, and don't look at it. Don't look at the charts till the end of the day. Just do something else, focus on your things, and forget about it. And turn off the alarms. And from the things that went wrong, let's start from the easy one. So the gold trade where I used the original line instead of the steep safety line. I should definitely utilize the steeper safety line to protect my capital. I should never ever try to allow the price to go lower and then higher and up to the OG line because I am actually on 1 hour time frame and my trades are within the day, within just a couple of hours. As you're seeing, like it's 4 or 5 hours of a trade and allowing the price to just jump down so much and then maybe reverse, it's a lot of trust in that price that it will do it so fast. So that's why you're having steeper safety line, protect your capital. Second thing is, yeah, I'm giving up on silver for now. I had good exposure therapy. I lost over minus $900 this week just on silver. So no more silver for me. However, well, it allowed me to accept those bigger numbers and now I'm feeling way comfortable to trade platinum. So buy silver, but thank you. And the last but not least is panics on Friday. I should actually, as I'm accepting my losses every day, I should also accept the losses during the week, during the month. And if I'm seeing the week or a month on red, it's okay. I mean, I can get out from the drawdown. I can get out from the drawdown within a day, within a week, and as well within a month. I actually, as you remember, was in a couple of drawdowns, and just by sticking to the rules, I was able to get out from them. And then, well, the psychology was hitting again, and then I was in a drawdown again. So I should not allow the psychology to kick in and mess up with my trades. And the aims for the next week is to follow the trend and don't do the trades against it. Then to place maybe actually one trade per day, maybe two, but definitely allow yourself to have those empty days when you don't need to place any trade and just leave the charts alone. If you don't see anything, it's also okay. You also can have a day which is literally without the trades. And as I was mentioning a couple of times, protect your capital. Trust the steeper safety line. If it's crossed, get out. And last but not least, be patient. So actually the two amazing trades that I took on Platinum happened 2 hours after the opening of the London session. So I don't need to actually jump on the trades at 8 a.m. because it's 8 a.m. because it's the London session. And then there is a stagnation. I mean, I took the nice trades at 10 a.m. and they were very profitable. So just be patient, just look what the market is doing, and then definitely trust yourself. I really hope you enjoyed this week's video. And if you want to check out the last week's video, it's here. See you next time. Bye!